Sup, everyone. Welcome. Uh, just a little segment here that was decided to do. We're picking our way too early in our origin teams, Queensland and New South, respectively. For Queensland, obviously, ripping the Dolphins. And I don't know, this guy's, I guess he's a Wild fan, but a couple of years ago he was a Sharks fan. So I don't know. I think he retired as a Sharks fan in the same year that Paul Gallen retired. I guess we just wanted to run through our early predictions that we're probably gonna get like wrong, like when they announce the actual teams. Yeah, how you? What's been happening, bro? How's
Yeah,
your
all
fantasy
good.
going?
All good. Now, I cracked 1,000 this week, so I'm pretty happy with my fantasy at the moment with my footy.
Yo,
But my tipping is just, trash at the moment. I think I'm 5 out of 8 this
did you
week.
win? Who are you playing?
What? What do you mean?
Who are you playing in fantasy? Who was your hit to hit?
Who was it? It was you,
Was
was
it
it?
Paddy?
No,
No.
it was Paddy. It was Paddy. It was
Oh
Paddy, bro. He scored pretty well in
man,
900s.
uh, bro, I had Plath pull out last minute for the game,
Yeah,
and
that was unlucky.
he was my starting hooker, and then Ponga got me 22 points.
Yeah,
But
I've got to keep him, man.
you know.
I can't lock in
uh,
those losses.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me. I got him, and because I versed Hayes got over 1,000. But had he had what's his name, Derby, not had his 73-point game, I think I would have
Yeah,
been
yeah.
closer
Do
there.
you think
But
that he continues getting points like that?
not, I've been looking at
Yeah,
his average score; it's been in the 30s and the 20s. So
yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, man. Hayes must have had like a sixth sense, bro, to know to bloody start that guy this week. He's gonna get 73
Because
points.
he's had him
Great.
for a while, because he didn't burn any trades this week, so that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So. Damn it! But then he could probably also say the same thing about me, keeping Sandon Smith in my team and
Yeah, yeah.
Zavala, who both scored real high for me.
Crazy
But
high.
I had no choice because three of my starting team was the Eels, and the Eels had to buy this weekend. So, anyways, let's get into it, bro. I don't know which team do you want to start with first. Which team do you have? Which team did you write down?
I'll give you the honors. I'll give you the honors. Let's go Queensland #1 first.
All right, we'll go Queensland number one then. Do you want me to start?
You go.
Because you didn't write anything down and you're just gonna copy my team. For my starting 17, I had Ponga, even though with the down year he's having at one. I'm having him there as fullback. We need the experience in there, especially with Walshy out. Even if Walshy wasn't injured, probably would have picked Ponga over Walsh at the moment, based on form. I also got on the wings, I got Cobo and Coates. Really good under hyper two tall wingers.
Is Walsh injured for Origin?
Well, he's definitely out for at least a month.
Oh,
So by that
all
time,
right.
he'll probably just be able to make it back in time. But I wouldn't anyway. But just let him focus on doing his job for the Broncos. To be honest, so I have Ponga there, and then as my wings, I got Cobo and Coates there as my back three. Cobo and Coates are able to provide silky skills under the high ball. And they're both tall. In my centers, I got Hammer in one center, and I've chosen was picking between Gagai and Holmes. I ended up going with Gagai. Um,
If it,
yeah,
yeah.
just yeah, it's a good fit compared to Holmes just at the moment. But I wouldn't be mad if they chuck Holmes in there as well. But yeah, so I got Hammer and Gagai in my centers. As my halves pairing, I got
Oh, wait, can I
Money.
stop you there, Because
Yo,
I might not be able to do your full Queensland side because I didn't write anything down.
it's too
But in the
bad.
one spot, I reckon you
Yep.
got a couple of different options to work around with what Slater will end up picking because I'd go Walsh if he was healthy.
Yep.
With Ponga out because I reckon Ponga's just I reckon his on-field stuff is having to do with a lot of off-field stuff.
Hmm.
I'm thinking that he might opt out for Origin this year possibly with a defection to Kiwis. I reckon.
Ricken?
Um, yeah, I'm thinking so. I'm thinking that's the reason behind his poor form at the moment. And then I'll have Walsh at the back, and then I'll introduce. Oh, sorry, no. If Walsh was out and Ponga was out, I was thinking Hammer at the back, and then introducing like someone like Shibasaki, for the centers. But then yeah, I've got Cobb on the wing, Xavier Coates on the wing. Bro, Coates is someone I say a lot. So, but have you seen all the sequence of him on
You
360?
see Hindy
Uh,
and
feel
and
sorry for
Fletch
him, man. Their
with
stitch ups are
the
terrible.
snakes. the
Yeah.
animals. Yeah, that
I
was
fe-
on just in their last Matty John show. Eh? I was
yeah,
cracking up, and
bro. I
it made
felt
me
so
actually like
sorry for
him
him.
like
Yeah,
quite a
yeah.
lot, bro.
I felt so sorry for him. So shout out to him. Yeah, I like him now. Yeah, I'll chuck him on the wing and just they utilized it once, I think in the Storm game, just gone, just kicking the ball out to him on the wing and he did the AFL type jump on the side. I
Okay.
think if they can utilize that in Queensland, that's going to be really effective with the likes of who we might have in the New South Wales
Mhm.
team. Players
I
that
hope so.
are not good in
Yep.
defending aerial attacks. So definitely coach on one wing and Cobbo doing really well playing for the
Yep.
Broncos at fullback this week. So definitely in there as
Hmm.
well. And yeah,
All right, we'll go
depending
position
on
by position, and then we can compare.
yeah,
Then,
yeah, yeah.
yep. Anything else about the wingers?
That so the
Yeah.
centers I'll introduce you the likes of probably Shibasaki, just big body,
Yep.
and effort player, Naya Gagai as well. As
Yep.
opposed to Holmes, I just think yeah, Origin need the effort players, someone like Gagai who's performing a little bit better for the Knights who are struggling at the moment.
Cool. Yeah, I had also had Taulangi who can also cover the wing and centre position as well. So
Yeah,
um,
and good pairing
he
with
he was
Dearden.
just my backup in the yeah. So moving on to our house pairing. For me, I have money and DCE. Just tried and
Oh,
true. We obviously were missing money last year.
mm,
Um, and his experience, he's always a big game player, clutch player for us. So I've chosen him over Dearden, or that halves pairing compared to a Dearden money at the moment. I'll keep
mm,
DC in there for one more season. I think he's still been playing. He's warranted enough to have another series, in my opinion. But yeah, you have Dearden there as backup as well. I wouldn't be mad if Billy decides to pull the trigger now and jam Dearden next to money. But then if that happens, the kicking options, well, they're not too bad because Dearden does do a lot of the kicking for the Cowboys, so I'm not mad at that. So I've just decided to go DCE for now for one more series or one more year, and then I think next year is when I'll decide to probably move on from DCE accordingly. But what about you, bro?
yeah. As much as I love DCE, I'm blooding in the new Queensland pairing. I'm going Dearden and Money.
Yep.
Just to bring in some new blood and yeah, DC worry about his retirement, worry about
Mm.
his last year mainly.
Yep. Also, I had him part of the extended squad. It was Campbell. I know he's injured at the moment, but to be part of that team as well, just be in that environment and get what he can from Money and from DCE as well for me. Just before he got injured, I thought he was one of the Form Sevens.
Yeah,
He was,
yeah, love him. Yep.
so that was a little shot for him. But he's injured at the moment, but hopefully he's able to come back and just be in and around the squad. Okay, front row. Or with our props, I went Cotta and Tino to start. No, for me. What about you?
I'd go big Hawes. I go
Yep,
big Hawes and
yep. I ain't mad at that. Um, yeah, I don't mind. I had Halls on my bench, but
Mm,
if him starting as well, yeah, no, I don't mind. Maybe it's better to get him in the game early. Yeah, and then Tino just back into it. I agree
yes.
with you.
So just going back on Campbell, if he ends up coming into the squad, um, that could be a good 6-7 pairing or him 14 starting out.
Yep.
What would that look like?
Oh well, just because he was injured, I probably thought that they weren't gonna pick him, so I didn't have
That's
him as in my
when he eventually
interchange.
does come into the side.
Yeah, I am mad at that. Like if they decide to carry on Money and Dearden, and then we have Campbell off as a 14 as a interchange, but he can also cover a fullback as well if need be.
Mm,
He's jammed there in the past. Yeah, I mean if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he's gonna force himself into the team somehow. So, but probably the bench will be the best place for him to start.
yeah.
See how he goes.
Mm.
Um, but well, I'll get to the bench soon. But and my captain, not captain, my starting hooker is Grant for me, Harry Grant. I didn't pick Ben Hunt in my squad, but it's only dependent if Harry Grant's able to play. If he's able to play, then I didn't have Grant in my squad. I mean, if Grant's not able to play, I didn't have Hunt in my squad. But if Grant's not able to play, then I'm bringing in Hunt to start. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll bring in Hunt to start. It was just the way my interchange was going. So I had put Pleth on my interchange bench if
Oh,
Grant's able to play because he can cover
nice.
hooker, and he can cover anywhere in the front row or
Yeah.
anywhere in the forwards. So I had him as that utility option. Pleth. I think his form this season and last season deserves him to be in the team. He's got a great motor on him, can go for 80 if need be. Yeah, having him as the 14, give Grant a spell. But if Grant's not available because of injury, I'll put Hunt back in there straight away as a starting nine.
Mm.
Yeah, that's that's where I see it. What about
Yeah,
you, bro?
can't leave out Grant. Can't leave out Grant, so I have Grant
Yep,
starting at 9 as well.
yep, absolutely. Um, did you ever did you have your starting back row? Did you have
New
you
South
thought
Wales
of one
or
or nah for Queensland?
mainly just
Or
the
your
props
edge players?
and 13, not edge.
All right. Yeah, so for my age, yeah, I think the game on the weekend proved that even though they lost, they got assessed. But I thought Bo Fermor,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, definitely.
I think for him to start, I had him to start here.
Yep,
The way he's been playing for the Titans is like more into the start for me. He's been gangster, bro.
yep.
And he got whoever picked him for fantasy this week is and made him captain, bro. On you on that, bro. He had like more 100 and something points in
Yep.
fantasy,
A
but
little bit of
he's just been.
versatility playing in the centers as well.
Yeah, bro, can jam in the centers, can be the new generation Kurt Capel. But I had him next to Jaden Sutter, just been quietly doing his thing. He's been
Mm.
solid for the Dragons, in that second row. But I also had Hopgood. I was thinking of Hopgood to start as well for
Yep.
him and Fermo, because he'll be solid defensively. Absolutely, Fermo runs some great lines, um, but I thought maybe I'll put Hopgood on the bench just and bring someone with a bit more experience to start alongside in the edge
Mm.
with Fermo. And then obviously I got Kags at the back, but swap between him and Tino. I don't mind who plays in the front row and who plays lock out of those two. Um, but I just thought Kerrigan has a bit more ball playing ability
Mm.
than Tino, so I put him at lock for me. But yeah, thoughts, bro. What about you?
And now I've got Kerrigan returning back into the second row. Where I know he's been playing a lot of prop and playing 13 at rep level, but I think just getting him back playing off the likes of Money and Dearden, getting running those lines again.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, then him going to 13 and then Fermor again. Yeah, I think he's in for a starting spot in the second row. I think we need a good shout for Nanai.
Yep.
His return to form, his chopping and changing and going down to or getting X from the top side has been good for him. I think that's something that needs to be done for a lot of the star players.
Yep.
I mean, namely Ponga. I mean, he's been struggling hard. I just, we saw in the pre-season the
Yep.
attack that the Knights were capable of, and then just no axing of the star players and it's still continue on their
Mm-hmm.
poor form.
Yep.
But Lanai getting axed early in the season and then coming back, he's on fire, and it showed the weekend just gone with Dearden and and the likes of Nanai carving
Yep.
up. So I definitely, yeah, with his improved form, chuck him back in on the edge as well. But just the options, I mean, we're talking about New South Wales having a lot of options in the back row. I think you guys have some options in the back row as well for Queensland.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like more than what we thought, because
Yeah.
the horse can play back row as well if
And
need
he's
be.
looking good,
Uh,
Soler. See how lean he's looking?
yeah. Hey man, reminds me of me. Um, but yeah, I in my bench I had bracketed both Fifita and Nanai, and
Yeah.
so I put one bench spot for if Slater was gonna pick Fifita, I was like, oh yeah, sweet, he'll get it over Nanai. But if he doesn't, then Nanai will easily slot in there for me.
Mm.
Which is weird because I see my extended squad and like Lindsay Collins not on the bench for me. But that's what it is. For my bench, I had Plath, I had Horse, I bracketed both Fifita and Nanai, and then I also had Hopgood over there. But you can easily chop one of those guys out and bring in Collins. I wouldn't be mad. Lindsay Collins as
Big
another prop
body,
rotation.
experience.
Yeah,
Yep.
big body, big experience in that level. But yeah, I had Plath in there to cover front row lock as well, and hooker if need be, and then the horse to cover front row, and then you have Fafita or Nanai with Hopgood at covering the back. So
Mm.
that's how it looks for me.
Yeah, I'd
Extended
say
squad.
pretty similar to.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, yeah, carry on.
Yeah, yeah. Sla, thoughts on your bench?
Oh
Before,
no, I'd
yeah.
say something pretty similar, but I can't really leave out Ben Hane for once a
Mm.
change, so I would still go that double hooker. That's
Yep.
worked so well for Queensland in the past, and then Ben Hunt just sort of just raised this game when it comes to state of origin. I'd
Yep.
leave out Hopgood. They're not doing any favors for him at
Mm.
Clubland with his his role sort of being not set in stone with the likes of Dylan Walker coming on. I mean, there's
Yep.
times he's playing hooker at the Eels,
Yeah.
so yeah, just uncertainty with his role, and it's not really helping his game. Fifita, bro, you can't leave him out. X factor player, can go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. In terms of his ability to break the
Yep.
game open. That's and probably a good thing as well if you're coming in with the new squad is that you never know where you're going to get. You're not going to
Mm.
come in with the same squad and then get sassed up
I know. Yeah.
by the
Huh.
Blues. Like you're coming in with new blood and new passion, and it's going to end up being a
Yeah.
good game, good series.
I think the big question for Billy is finding the balance of his bench or his team in general. He needs to find the right balance in terms of how he wants to play. Like if you have Hunt there, obviously it adds another dimension in terms of kicking. Where his going for his early 40-20s is a big part of the of Queensland. It just is kicking out like if we're under pressure, if New South Wales have had a good defensive set, he's able to kick early and kick long, get that pressure off. So that's something that Hunt brings that Plath doesn't. So I understand like if Billy chooses to go that way. Um, but I thought if Plath doesn't get used as a utility and he's either not picked or he's used as a front rower or a lock option, also had a shout in there for Kurt Mann. I thought he's been playing really well. And he can play that Connor Watson role that Connor plays for New South Wales. He can kind of do that job and play anywhere in that back line for Queensland well, and as well as at hooker. So I had him in my extended squad: Lindsay Collins, Valentine Holmes, Tom Gilbert, who probably had his strongest game on the weekend against the Raiders, where he had like 50 something tackles.
That's all
Um,
he can do, Sully. That's all he can do. Just stand in front
that's
of the
it. He,
person with the ball,
he doesn't offer too much on attack, but he's solid defensively and a leader for the Dolphins.
and he just
Um,
wants to score all those fantasy points when I drop him out of my team.
that's it. You knew you dropped those and it's like, oh, I'm gonna go for 60 this week. And then I had Campbell in there, and then we also got like the Brimsons and those cats as well. They're on the edge that you can easily bring in. That's been around that environment before. The Cape Bulls, the Brimsons, those likes. Yeah, that's what my main team looks like.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the team forming around Jaden Campbell when he's like solidified in the squad in the next 1 or 2 years.
Yep.
To see how that goes. So yeah, really exciting times. And I think we'll be surprised at the selections that we're going to get this year. It's not going to
Mm.
be the incumbent squad that everyone thinks is going to be. I think it's going to be like maybe 1 or 2 surprise selections in there, with some new
All right.
blood.
I just hope he just picks Fifita, man. Whatever beef that Billy and Fifita have, bro. I hope they squash it because they need him in their team, bro. X Factor,
X
yeah.
Factor, yeah,
Um, X Factor, just on absolute X Factor, he can break the game wide open like how Trout does it for New South and
yeah. Only
for the
downside is
Bunnies.
that
So
he can cost you the game as well.
that's it. That's it. But you're looking at a big upside and you're gonna risk
Yeah,
the downside.
yeah,
So that's what comes
huge
with that.
upside.
So, yeah. Any other thoughts?
No,
Yeah, whitewash for Queensland for me. They're going for free. All
I
right.
think closer than
Um,
we expect this year.
yeah. Oh well, I don't mind if you guys win one game. All right. That's my that's what the close game is for me. All right. You want to start stuff for new stuff? Who you
Yeah,
got,
New
bro?
South Wales at the back. I'm still sticking safe despite the poor form from the Panthers and the hot form from Teddy at the Roosters. I'm sticking with Edwards at the back. Safe hands,
Mm-hmm.
super fit, rises to the occasion when it comes to these rip games. For the wing spots, what we got here? Some smokies. Carraz. So I got Carraz pairing up with Critter on one side. That's
Mm-hmm.
pinning the injuries with To'o and Lomax.
Yep.
If everyone's all healthy, I'll stick with the wingers that we had last year. If not,
Mm-hmm.
we got the Smokies with Krilla and Perez on one edge. On the other edge, I've still got despite poor form at clubland as well. Traumit, and
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess I was supposed to jump in there
yeah,
with my back three. Sorry. Nah, I was pretty much the same as you, bro. I had Edwards at the back. So my starting wingers were To'o and Turbo for
yep.
now. But
Oh, nice.
depending on injury, Perez to be there instead of To'o. But if Lomax was available as well, I mean, if all of them are available, I'll pick To'o and Turbo on the wings. That'll be my two. I've
Yep.
got to
So
have
no
Turbo
Lomax
in
in your
there.
squad. Yep.
Yeah, no Lomax. But wouldn't be mad if he's in there too. Of I don't know, sort of because Turbo's back now, so I think he'll get picked for that Origin squad.
Mm,
Carraz, yeah, I'll check him in if there's injuries, but I would rather the other three options over Carraz.
yep.
Back to you,
Center
bro.
pairing.
Yeah.
Center pairing.
Who were they?
I had Critter and Troll. So I've got
Yeah.
Turbo out of my squad.
Oh, okay. Oh, and who did you have on your wings? Lomax and Carraz or
I
Total
got To'o,
Carraz?
To'o Carez. Yeah, Carez
Oh,
with
okay.
the offloads and yeah,
Yep.
pairing with Critter.
For my centre pairing, I had Critter and Mitchell. I had the same as you, Critter and
Yep.
Chow. Yeah, gotta have Chow in there somehow. So centre, I'll put him at. I wouldn't put him at fullback. Edwards did a really good job for you guys last year, and just keep him in there as incumbent.
Yep. Cool. And moving on to 5'8" and 7. Um,
Mm.
Probably we're going to be the most talked about pairing for Origin series in my opinion. So I got the same 6 and 7. They got the job done for us last year with Luai
Oh, so
and
no,
Moses. Yeah, and no Cleary. Yeah,
no
unfortunately.
Cleary for you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, there was three different options, right? It will either be the tried and true ones that worked for you guys last year, which was Moses Luai, or you would go with the Panthers connection of Luai and
Yep.
Cleary, or you would go with both really good kicking games in Cleary and
Moses.
Moses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's probably the only three options that you guys would have, and everyone's talking about. For me, I went for Moses and Cleary. Um, yeah, you saw what Moses did in that last game when he came back, and he was able to straighten up the Eels attack. His kicking game is awesome as well. Yeah, the two best sevens probably.
Yeah. And Daly hinted at that as well.
Yeah. So having a double trouble kicking game can cause nightmares for Queensland if they know how to play them right. But I'm not mad at whatever pick they like. They're all valid reasonings of whatever pairing that Laurie Daly ultimately
Mm,
goes with. So if he goes with the Panthers connection, yep, all good. If he goes with the one from last year, all good. If he goes with Moses and Cleary, sweet. There's positive reasons behind each one. Front row.
Front row, I've got Payne Haas and Terrell May, and I've got Jake Turbo dropping out of my squad completely.
Yep.
Yeah, Terrell
Yep.
May, he's playing 80 minutes regularly at Clubland. He's got a good offload on him, second phase player that can start for New South Wales, hopefully. Payne Haas, again, he's got the same potential engine, but at Broncos, he's not playing 80 minutes, or
Mhm.
they got him coming on 20 minutes, 40 minute spells, giving him a rest, and then coming back on and causing havoc again. Yeah, potential to play 80 minutes if need be with injuries and stuff like that. But yeah, talk about packing a punch with Haas and May up front. I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see that pairing when it comes to
And
Origin.
who was your prop rotation on the bench? Like the bench, the
Um,
props that you had on your bench,
so
front row.
I've got Leniel out. I've got Kolomatangi out. So I've got the
Yep.
likes of Olakawatu, who
Yep.
can potentially play front row. Yeah, really light in the front row rotations, and Smokey Manu possibly as well.
Yep.
But my bench is quite light with back rows as opposed
Mm.
to front row rotation.
Yeah. For me, I had the same props to start. Haas and May, which is bloody scary if you think about it. Like that's potentially the best two starting forwards that you like of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that's real early in terms of Terrell May, but you know the
Yeah.
what we've been seeing at Clubland like warrants it. He's been getting some crazy numbers for the Tigers at the moment, and obviously for the Roosters last year as well. And you know, he was a big reason why tonight's game when they beat the Sharks. So a lot of it was from him, and
Yep.
a lot of his effort plays and the motor that he has on him too, bro. It's crazy. Both of them. So yeah, I went with Haas and May. That's it. And then on my bench, I had Barnett as one of the prop rotations. I had him originally in there, um, but also with him and Schmolle as well. Yeah, maybe Schmolle can jam front row if need be. But yeah, I think that's going to be a problem for you guys. You guys are too stacked
Yeah, yeah. It could
in
be. That could be.
the second row where it's like you don't know who to pick. But Leniel, we know what he can bring to Origin, but just this year I feel like he's been a bit more hot headed and like going a bit too over with the aggressiveness this year.
Yep. Yep.
He's able to find the balance normally, but just this year, I mean, from a Queensland point of view, it's good. I'd rather have him out of my team than in. But yeah, if he's able to find that balance where he's able to rein it back in a little bit and focus on on field, and he'll man the way he carved us up from the bench last year. It's scary to see that again behind the likes of both Terrell May and Payne Haas and Mitch Barnett. So yeah, second row out
I've
or your
got
back row.
I've got Hudson Young and Angus Crichton.
Yeah.
I'm starting in my back row. Hudson Young, yeah, just good form at the Raiders. Yeah, slow start the Raiders this season in terms of all their games. Their leading
Mm,
team sort of pile on the points and then decided to come back after a sticky spray at halftime. Looks like it.
yep.
But yeah, Hado, there was a mic'd up thing on 360. I didn't realize how much he talked on the field. I'm thinking that's
Mm,
one of his good qualities as well. Some of the intangibles there with his leadership qualities, and it's reflected in his play. You know, someone that demands the ball and is a go-to in the attack most times. And I don't think in a lot of the selection for some of the panelists and stuff that they got him starting, but. Yeah, no, he's starting for me. And Crichton, yeah, the sort of X factor, similar to, not on the same level as Fafita, in my opinion, but
yep.
sort of getting there in terms of X factor and some of these sort of need for a bit of mongrel. And
Mm,
yeah, yeah, so yeah,
yeah.
Crichton for me.
Yeah, I had exactly the same picks. Huddy Young on the left edge and Crichton on the right. I had Martin on my bench. Did you have Martin on? Do
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
Martin on there?
yeah. The thing
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
thought.
looking at. Oh, sorry, yeah, carry on.
No, no, you go.
Oh no, just adding on about Martin and why he's not starting. Just yeah, bit of poor form with the Panthers with a couple of errors that he's sort of sneaking into his game that sort of
Mm,
I think will be costly at Origin level. I
yep,
mean, he gives away the penalty every now and again at rep level, but it's sort of his error count is growing at club, and
yep,
I'm not wanting that to come into Origin.
yeah. For me, I had Crichton over Martin at starting edge just because I feel like Martin can have out of Crichton and Martin. Martin has more of an impact from the bench.
Yeah, yeah, same for me.
Crichton like may take a little while just to get into the game, and he needs a longer spell, like to start like getting really involved in the game rather than if he comes on as a bench player, not necessarily has like an impact. He's just there as another body, but if he's there starting, he can have more of an impact in that game. Yeah, and Martin's aggressiveness, is better suited from the bench over Crichton. So that's
Yeah,
why I just picked um, Crichton on the bench. Oh, Crichton to start. Sorry, and then I'm guessing you have Isaiah Yo as well.
yeah, yeah. 13,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah,
Self-explanatory.
definitely should start. 13. But what you guys did well with him last year as well is like, if you bring on the Schmollers or if you use Barnett as a second rower or like in like a lock or something, you can push Yo into that prop, which worked well for you guys last year as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And one of the
I think
boys
the
called it
game
too. Yeah,
where he didn't start, I believe, in
yeah.
one of the
He was
games last
14,
year.
I think. Oh, I think
Yeah,
he had
yeah,
the 13
14.
jersey and he was on the bench.
Yeah, and then he came on and he jammed that prop.
Yeah, and
And
it's
it's
Benny the
mean
line
because he's got all the in the
in the
positive
right
way and
way.
like Gerber. Yeah. So obviously he's the captain as well, eh?
Yep,
You'll
yep.
put him
For
as
me,
captain.
yep.
Yep. Handies.
So
Your
Gerbo
bench.
one and done.
Yeah.
Bench, yeah, we've got Connor Watson at 14, just versatility, if
Yep.
need be, injury wise. And then I've got Olakau'atu. Who else did I have? Liam Martin, and then there's one more spot left, and I dropped out.
Barnett.
Yeah, I
Did
put
you have
Barnett
Barnett
in
in?
there. The thing with Barnett this year is that I think his role's sort of evolved because of his captaincy at the
Mm,
Waz, where he used to be the type of enforcer last year. We had to
yep.
prove himself, and now he doesn't really need to prove himself, so he's evolved into the more mature captain type player, which I don't like for Origin. But I
Yep.
put him in there because it might change for Origin.
Mm. Well, yeah. Well, last year he had to prove himself, and then when Fisher Harris was jamming until before he got injured, he could kind of play like off that. But now, since he's been injured, he's been getting back to his best, like where he's like the only one that can carry their forwards. Well, Aaron Clark's also jamming now as well, which has
Mm,
been good. But um, Barnett in the last couple of weeks has stood up to take on the more of that enforcer role because he has to, because Fisher Harris isn't there. And yeah, I think he'll bring that in the limited minutes that he'll get because you have two props that can play 80 minutes as
yeah,
well as Barnett who could play 80 minutes as well, like easily. So yeah, I also had Lenil Bar Schmolle as well. So I'm not mad at whoever they pick out of those two. And then the Martin there, and obviously Connor Watson, yeah, is playing that utility role as well. Thoughts of him cracking the starting nine though? You reckon with the way that Robson's been playing so far?
well, Robert had a good game coming back, so all these players are sort of coming
Yep,
into form, and it's around that time that in the season where all the players that sort of in the line for State of Origin sort of come into the right form for it.
100.
But yeah, no, that wouldn't be a bad shot. So they could stack the bench.
Yo, had him on my extended squad just to be in and around the players. I had Isai Kato
Yeah,
needs to be in there.
he's declined New South Wales and Aussie, hasn't he? Or outright?
Nah, he's declined
Oh,
Aussie. Or maybe I think I'm not too sure, bro.
but yeah, definitely
'Cause
good smoky.
I'm like, but why would he decline New South Wales if he can still play there and play for Tonga?
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. So,
Huge issue
I
in the
definitely,
NRL at the moment.
yeah. Hopefully, he's in and around that squad for now. Definitely a good shout for the future. Preston
Yeah,
definitely
yeah. I mean,
deserves a good
he's been
shout.
playing the same the last 2, 3 years, just stacked
Yep.
in the back row. Wouldn't be out of place
Yeah.
though.
Him. Put Kolo Matangi in there as well. Same boat. Wouldn't be mad if he cracks the interchange bench. Like, you know what he does. Similar
Yeah,
vein
yeah.
to
My only issue
Homole.
with him was just the same thing with Martin with the errors coming into his game and
Yep.
some defensive lapses here and there. Other
Mm.
than that, yeah.
And then you said Utoi Kamanu as well. Had him on my extended bench as well, just to be in there. And then boys that can know do the job is Luai, Koroisau, and Terry.
Yeah, yeah.
All got the extended bench.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is about City coming back into Origin A, but the way that the NRL is going at the moment, I saw that it's going to end up being like a 10v10, 9v9, all these sin bin
And
calls and penalties.
that's it.
So, yeah,
And 100% something like that is gonna be the talking point in Origin, bro.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh, someone got sent off because of a little tap to the forehead or something,
yeah.
whatever. So,
I mean,
yeah, man.
hopefully not, fingers crossed, but the way that the game's going, that's definitely going to be a
Yeah,
talking point.
handies. But yeah, man. No bad looking squad on both sides. I must say it's a little bit more even than what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, and I reckon the
Um,
series is going to reflect that. Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, on both sides they got to find the balance. I don't know what Laurie's going to be looking for this time around with the New South Wales. Maybe he's learned his lessons from you know, all the hidings he's had in the past. But we'll see, man. Any other shots?
not that I can think of now.
No. That's it.